person who came close to even discussing policy is Peter OBI. Unfortunately, Peter OBI is doing catch and carry. Whenever you subject what he says to forensic analysis, it always comes out as falsehood.
Significant public debate. What would you have done differently? Because I remember you did say that from day one, you say subsidy is gone. What would you have done differently?
I didn't say from day one. I said I would remove subsidy.
You remove it. Okay.
You know, I didn't say from day one, and I wouldn't have done it
from day one.
Our question has to do with the issue of removal of fuel subsidy. Considering that this current administration has said that by June 2023, the subsidy will be removed. Is it going to be your priority in your first 100 days in office? How sustainable is subsidy to the Nigerian economy? Thank you.
Thank you, Dwight.
Well done. But I can assure you, it will go immediately. Subsidy, I've said it before, is organized crime. And I cannot allow it to stay a day longer. Me to buy this. And I told the man, I said, I don't own a house in Abuja. The only place I own a house of Peter OBI is in Onitsha. Everybody send it. EFCC. Name me invitation, but I'm saying, so I'm going to go. My house, according to 996. I said, can you give us proof? You bought this of 1996. September 1996. My check in full. In full payment. The above check is prepayment of retail client credit and agreed. They do sent full payment. 1996. This is like I said it for 1 billion, for 1 million pounds. It's there. So Omoyele can remember. Listen now. Before I wrap around, was by the name $7 million in duty. The above name company it's there. So all that is a business. So for me, I'm eventually a man at that. Or them no, or them only one idea. For example, it's okay to make TV business. So say they are home. Come on, the company petrol need. We for them or one. Not to change this year. How about they have a TV on them?
The children house.
Contract.
Even with something I haven't told you. After I built that school in 2007, ABI Commission said.
Under his watch, Peter OBI massacred the worst killing in Biafra land. Mass burial, Muslim people. They use tipper, bury people under his footsteps. What are them? What the Muslim agitating? The same flag, Biafra flag. What are they agitating? The same flag. What in Nigeria are agitating? The same flag. They tell me, person will be governor, do such a thing. When he become a president of Nigeria, is he not going to bomb the whole Biafra land?
An Igbo man will do that to an Igbo man.
Understand me now? He did the same thing. And that time I'm telling you that Nnamdi is a deputy to Wazirike. He's a deputy.
Peter OBI
is afraid that he took his state and went to perpetual debt in his state. He said he's saving money. Why the money he left in the coffers of the Anambra state is the money he's owing is bigger than the money he left in the Anambra's coffer. So who is feeling who? I know all of them.
Leader, he doesn't have capacity. He's human rapper. He cannot do anything. He cannot divide the Red Sea because God is not with him.
Okay, are you saying we need a leader? 2 days, Biafra come.
I'm working well. What thing Peter OBI won't come do Nigeria? We work for Nigeria again. Make mention one, now road, electricity. But when we are an Anambra governor, do Anambra have people get roads? They don't have water. They don't have hospital. They have better school. But now, you don't forget he has enough cup for office. He won't become president. I'm not from Anambra, from Enugu. You know, the way he forget for the government, he won't come return it back. Okay? Even Soludo, when IPOB says Soludo will not enter office, they say boycott the election. IPOB.
Let me just be there. He's seeking for sympathy votes, telling people that Nigeria is bad, this and that, this and yes, we know Nigeria is bad, but you have what it takes to deliver us. They say we are in Egypt. We are looking for Moses. Do you have what it takes? The morale of Moses to bring us out? But if we don't, we better remain in Egypt.
In command to James Wafo. Open, but before then, on the second night of my staying at that C5, 17 people were called out and summarily executed.
You saw this?
I'm not wearing a mask. Let me remove my glasses so you can see me clearly. I'm telling you that I witnessed it. I was in that. One of the boys that was killed was a second-year engineering student at Futo, an only son. This only son, instantly, he was calling me uncle because he was next to me. That's the way you sit in that dirty place. He said he's an only son, that the father is dead, and that the uncle, who has money in Lagos, wanted to take the land which their grandfather gave, so he gave up a fight. Petition was written against him as a kidnapper. He was one of the 17 people that was killed. Look, when that gun was I lost my consciousness. I ceased to have conscience in me as a person. I hated that James with passion. Because that boy was at almost the same age as my first son. I hated that man with passion. I died that very day. Every Nemo, Nemo, Nemo. That's all you could hear. I was there, not I was at the back. Right? Somebody, your name, okay, John, come out. You better come out. I was there.
So you say people were primarily executed?
Look, I've said this, I've maintained this. It's not only the atrocity. It's not only, this, as you can see here, is a 25-page addendum of atrocities that happened at sites while I was there, under affidavit.
Remind us again, what year this happened?
2013, during the time then state government, Anambra state government, issued shoot-at-sight order against Masop. That was really what gave James Wafo the latitude to kill at will and rationalize his on that.
It's not a candidate. So I rather focus on the things that I want to do for the Anambra and what I've done. If you look at when I came here, there was no security. People were not coming home. 69 people were kidnapped in the 8 years of the previous administration. But I came, I saw, I conquered.
That are wrong. Will I continue to shout every day where we parted ways with the governor that is sponsoring this rebellion? We were his pillar. At least, if not for anything, you have always known me to be behind him. When he achieved second term, he had a different game. And I said, look, I'm not somebody who can come and share around because you are controlling money. It doesn't work like that. I said, conduct local government election. I've always continued to say that, even in this studio. This is not the first time I'm saying it. Since 2010, he refused. I said, no, that cannot have only you as an elected official. We must have other people, because at the time we were having this disagreement, PDP had 30 members in the House of Assembly, 10 people in the House of Rep, 3 senators. Abga didn't have any. Conduct local government elections so that our party people can also participate in governance. And it became an offense.
Oh, that's the genesis of the problem.
That is the genesis of the problem, if you don't know. I have said it clearly, and each time they come to counter me, they've not been able to counter it. It is in the open, and the party people in Anambra State are solidly with me.
No industry in Anambra State, except the brewery, which he built for the Anambra people, for them to get drunk and go and kidnap people. That's the only thing. For example, I have made a statement. I expect Peter OBI and his people to say, Chairman, you lied. We built ABC Industries. That is how it should be. I am saying the only industry you brought in Anambra is the brewery. Meant for Anambra people to get drunk, either to kidnap people or to forget about the atrocities you committed in government. Peter OBI is a disaster in Anambra State. Our rally was supposed to take place last week Wednesday. We applied for permits and to pay the necessary fees for the use of the Ekweme Square in Oka. We were reliably informed that he had directed everybody not to do anything with Labour Party. We thought it was a joke. 2 days later, they wrote us that the Kweme Square was undergoing the construction. And I was in Oka. I drove straight to the place. I didn't see any tractor. The second day I went there, I didn't see any tractor. On the other hand, there was a deliberate attempt to stop us from using the Kweme Square meant for the public. And what came to mind was what we did in Ondo State. We were in power in Ondo State. We didn't stop ACN then, PDP, from using any of the facilities in the state. In fact, some of them campaigned where we used.
Looking at this video, you'll agree with me that
look at Abuja.
Racial profiling of any...
I am not aware that the PDP and the president has stopped anybody that can afford it, the use of Ego Square. I am not aware they have stopped anybody. So why would Peter OBI deny us the use of Kweme Square when we are ready to pay? That was how we flagged off our campaign in Onitsha.
Oka was a glorified local government for 8 years. Peter OBI was governor. If you're passing through Oka now, over flyovers, you wouldn't know when you pass Oka.
So
but most importantly,
what was he saying when he said that? Okay,
well, he has
some of the roads.
That's freedom of expression. I'm coming first. You see, the governor, when he launched his mission statement and vision, he had 4 cardinal principles. One is agriculture, industrialization, trade and commerce, and then oil and gas. But he showed some enablers. You know, by the time Peter was governor, what was rife in Anambra was kidnapping, armed robbery, all our big shots, nobody came home. But I tell you, in the past 4 years, people in Anambra sleep with their 2 eyes closed. Security has become, you're a journalist.
Most people who are shouting Obi is going to be president, most of them are not from Anambra State. I am from Anambra State. I was born and brought up in Anambra State. So I know Peter Obi when he was the governor of my state, and there was nothing much he did in my state. So those people shouting Obi, 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 they are not from Anambra. People who are from Anambra can never come out and shout Obi because within 8 years he was the governor of Anambra. He did nothing. There was nothing to tell him about. So if you compare, that's why most of my people, they rush to Lagos. Why are they going to Lagos?
Maybe you should share your experience with us on your encounter with operatives of the defunct SARS and what led to that encounter. Exactly.
What actually happened, that was August 1st, 2013. Incidentally, the then state government, Anambra State government, they contracted, or they considered Osokwodo Motor Park to the Onitsha natives. Meanwhile, Mokwe Park belongs to me. That's next to that Osokwodo. Incidentally, some of those transporters that were loading there were complaining that the money was too much. They moved to my own property. Then the Onitsha youths, led by Patrick Ayamba, who is now Onitsha North local government chairman, they attacked the place. Then I
attacked your own park.
They attacked my own park. Then I defended my park in equal proportion. I have to be honest with you. What I mean by equal proportion is muscle for muscle. You understand? And after that, it was considered an affront. An affront in the sense that I challenged the power that be. From there, 2 weeks after that, a lodger who happens to be later discovered to be an Onitsha native lodged in my hotel and planted 2 rotten skulls with 2 rotten Peter OBI. We were arrested between, because time, I have a plus or minus 15 or 20 minutes. Arrested between 7:30, 8. Peter OBI arrived at the hotel around that kind, 8:30, 9 or something, and ordered the immediate demolition of the hotel. Without investigation, without asking me what happened, without anything. So they commenced demolition the same day. Now, there's one funny thing about this incident. The funny thing is that Old Market Road, Onitsha, is like Marine Street, Lagos. That is where Onitsha started. So there's no way a caterpillar that will haul down a 3-story building will get to that place by that time because of traffic. So it must mean that this whole thing was understood to be how it's going to happen. And additionally, payment for the demolition of my hotel was made 2 days before the actual arrest and subsequent demolition of the hotel.
How do you have that information?
I have information because, one, is that he really is a friend of mine in a way, and a very close friend.
He being? The
person that demolished my hotel.
You're talking of former governor?
No, I'm not. Governor is not. Governor gave the order. I'm talking about the person, the person that was giving the contract. Okay. He is a friend and a friend of the governor. Okay. But by virtue of how my wife was called, he doesn't want to be drawn into, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but my staff, all those, because I have other properties there. So my staff saw him, I'm aware, but I rather not mention his name because my wife begged me not to. He doesn't want to be drawn into the mess. But let me just take it from this way. There's just no way a low-bed tractor will transport a caterpillar in Old Market Road. You have to be in Onitsha. Anybody that is from Onitsha knows what I'm saying. You cannot do that. The only time you can get to that place will be around that kind 3 or 4 by virtue of hold up. It's not. It's
3 or 4 hours.
No, not the only way that caterpillar can get to that place where that hotel is located at the extreme end of the Old Market Road. So the only way it would be feasible for that demolition to commence at the time it did was those things has to be priorly set in
one administration.
Exactly. When you now talk about Anambra State, the whole what you might call activities of SARS started from the shooter site order Peter OBI issued during the time of Masop. So he gave them the ample latitude to slaughter indiscriminately, killing without thinking, killing without investigation, because that shooter site provided a blanket cover for the killings. That was during the time of Ezu River. Ezu River, if you remember Ezu River. That Ezu River, most of those victims were Masop members, but which was later suppressed. Yes, it was suppressed. I know it was suppressed. And so, like I was saying, it's not really, we say SARS, but there's always a genesis. There's always a factor that creates a latitude whereby a SARS officer will tell you, I'll kill you and nothing will happen. The only way you can say that is if it's a cover, if it's protected, if there's a latitude. I'm talking about Anambra State case. As I'm talking to you today, 140 people at Anambra State SARS panel, out of the complaint, 140 people has been said to have been killed by James Nwafo under Peter Obi's administration.